Hello, I'm Mark and I've got a new project. Maybe I've bitten off more than I can chew, but I've decided to make a directory using Wordpress. Now, it's quite a task, but there's a particular plugin I'm using, and you can see it probably on the screen already, Bricks. And to say I'm impressed already is an understatement. I really love it. But first, why am I doing this? Why am I recording a directory of London pubs? We already have directories which exist. A particularly comprehensive one is made by Canberra, the real ale people. But the problem is, it's not quite so easy to drill down and search. And in a moment, I'll show you what I'm looking at in my particular website to make it just one click to search the areas you want to search. Also, for example, they record pubs as having a beer garden. Now, this is great, and this is part of what I want to show you today. I want to be able to search for beer gardens within different parts of London, but I have to be a bit strict. Canberra, in their What Pub website, list any pub which has a couple of benches outside on the pavement as having a beer garden. And to me, just having a couple of benches, even on a terrace, is not a beer garden. So I'm a bit pernickety in that respect. Okay, capturing the data. Here we go. I'm doing a spreadsheet to bring in my data lists. What I may do is forget the Facebook. A lot of pubs do not maintain the Facebook, or they keep it just for private use only, not for people, general public, so it's not a lot of use. A lot of pubs do have a website, so I may need to add this into my database, which I've not got in yet. Borough, I'm classifying by borough. It's a way of capturing buckets of information. It's not always particularly useful if you're at a street or intersection of 2 or 3 boroughs and you're looking for a pub. So I need to, at a later stage, drill down by stations, tube stations and rail stations. So if you're at Charing Cross and you want to find pubs with beer gardens which accept cash, I want to make it easy with my application. That will come later. I use a validation list in Excel, which is quite important. You want to make sure you don't get lots of different instances of the same value but misspelt. You want to make the data consistent. I will say at this point, I'm not doing this as a tutorial. I'm just letting you know what stage I've got to and how I'm finding it. Okay? Now, I put other details in here, and I can see even I'm getting bored at this, but I'm building a data list, and this is part of the fun of doing this. It's not all data work. I've got to go out on foot, take photographs, pop in the odd establishment, see if they accept cash, etc., etc., etc. Sometimes you can only find information by being on the ground instead of looking at a Google map or whatever. Okay, so I'm building up data in the data list, and I'm coming into my WordPress and entering in on the pubs table. I've already recorded 25, which is a very small number compared to the thousands of pubs in London total, but they do allow me to test my system and see how I'm getting on. And I have made some progress already, which is good. It was very hard at first to understand the concepts, but via the tutorials available on YouTube, you can quickly come up to speed. Now, I'm going to scroll down here. Apart from Bricks, the other major plugin I've added, if I can find it, let's get my buttons out of the way, is did write down what ACF is an acronym for. Let's see. Acronym, Advanced Custom Fields. You have to get the terminology right. So here we've set up field groups with pubs, name, postcode, and I want to come down to this particular field, pub type, because what I've done here is created a field type of select, which means I give a choice here when entering data. So some pubs will be recorded as a beer garden. This may be superfluous because I've got it recorded in another field. Close stand for itself. Craft beer, of course. Gastro pubs. Historic. Theatre pubs, I hope to include at a later point. I've put Wetherspoons as a category of its own because everyone knows what type of pub Wetherspoons is, and it's fairly distinctive. Okay, enough talking about fields. What I'm going to do is show you the power. I'm going to create a page and show you the power of Rix, which I think is fantastic. So I'm going to add a new page. I'm repeating, this is not a tutorial, this is just to show you. I'm going to call this YouTube 1. It's just a demonstration. I will probably delete afterwards, but it will show you the power. I'm going to publish. I'm going to come back into the editor, the admin page, and down here, YouTube 1, I'm going to edit with Rix. Right, first thing I'm going to do, on the left, clicks a section. It automatically, I've pressed it twice, so I'm going to Control Z. Okay, section automatically contains a container. Now I'm going to add another element, posts. Right, now if I select posts on this side, I can go straight into query mode. Let's get this out. Right, post type, it's not posts I'm looking at, it's my particular custom-made fields for pubs table I've created. Pubs, and you see straight away it's bringing back the featured image and the name. Now, there's an even more powerful one here. A meter query. I'm going to add a meter query based on our field. Remember I talked about the various options in pub. Now if I put closed here, not working, I wonder why that is. It's not pub key, it's pub type, isn't it? The name of the field. And if I put closed, it's bringing back the one pub I've got on my data list, which is now a closed pub. Now I'm going to actually change this to Wetherspoons. Remember, I recorded Wetherspoons pubs as a separate category. I'm going to save this. And we get a preview mode. Notice it's brought in a header which I've created on a template in another part of Rix, and it's listing just those pubs recorded as Wetherspoons. Now I'm going to edit it again. go under layout. It says 2 columns here. I'm going to enter 3 columns. Image. I'm going to link the image, and you'll see in a second why I've done this. I'm going to save. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to view. Now, the screen seems to have frozen on me. I wonder why. Maybe it's the loom. Let's come back out. Go to pages. Right, apologies for me coming around here. I wonder if it is because of this window. Okay. Right, we can view it now. And you've got the Wetherspoons pubs, and obviously if I'd entered more in my data list, it would show 10 or 20, however you wanted. But look at this. If I click on this, it will bring back my template for a single entry. And here I'm going to improve the layout and put more information, and perhaps have a map showing how you get to the bar. Right, so I think that's quite powerful just within a couple of minutes or so. And look, I've got garden pubs at entry in my menu. This is part of my header template, and I go straight to my beer garden pubs. And this is what I've got to now. I can now filter by borough. I've not got many pubs in the City of London, and there aren't too many beer garden pubs, but we've got a couple in here. Let's try Westminster. I've got a few more there. Yeah. And again, I've set it up so if I click on the picture or the title, we can go straight to further details, and I've got work to do to make this. Okay, so as I say, this is not a tutorial. This is just how I'm developing my web directory in Wordpress, and using bricks and ACF is extremely powerful. I'm really enjoying working on it, and my life is so much better now. I can work on this in the morning and go out data collecting in the nice sunshine when it exists. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to update every month or so. There are 25 pubs on my data list now. Hopefully by next month there will be a few more. Okay, see you soon.